I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Oh my, it's been a crazy last few weeks. Lots of highs, lots of lows, but one exciting and healing part of this whole process has been we have decided to name our baby. So I wanted to sit down and share with you guys the process that we went through of, deciding to name our baby and also what this name means to us. But don't forget to subscribe if you are not already subscribed to my channel. Also, I will leave links to all of my pregnancy related videos in the description box down below. So if you are new to my channel, I experienced a miscarriage at 7 weeks pregnant in July. It was obviously devastating. This was our first pregnancy and I just turned 25 years old. My husband and I have been married for 4 years, and so we were really excited to welcome this little baby into our house. We had been trying to conceive for 4 months until we got pregnant, and then unfortunately had our miscarriage almost a month ago. But through all of the process that we've gone through in the last few weeks of trying to heal and grieve, we have decided to name our baby. So when we miscarried, and even before then, I would have never thought to actually name our baby that we miscarried, especially as we were so early on. And I've heard of a lot of people who name their babies, and since it was just not something that I ever thought would happen to me, I never thought that I'd have a miscarriage. I just hadn't thought about that at all. But now that we have been walking through grieving in this season, we've had a lot of people pour into us and reach out and kind of share more of their stories. And people who have been really close to us have talked about how they decided to name the baby that they miscarried. And it kind of just got me thinking a little bit more about the idea of that. I think that the reasons why someone names the baby that they miscarried is that it kind of brings some healing, and it also just personifies the baby that you had, because this was a person, and you can also refer to your baby like by name later on. And I think that there is a lot of healing that comes with that, and also just a great way that you're able to honor your baby. So for us specifically, since I miscarried at 7 weeks, we did not know the gender of our baby because it was way too early. And so for that reason, mostly, that was why I didn't want to name my baby, because I was like, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. So I feel like that's kind of silly to name like a baby when I didn't even know what it was. And so I felt like I didn't want to be too weird about it, if that makes any sense. So I felt like that was just kind of strange to name a baby if I didn't even know what the gender was. But it was then that I heard from some close friends and people who have experienced this, who decided to name their baby, who even also miscarried before they were able to know the gender. And so that kind of opened my eyes a little bit more to it. I sat down one day with Jacob and talked to him about it. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he was like, I feel like it's kind of weird because we didn't know the gender. I was like, yeah, I did too, but I just didn't know. And then it was actually a separate time when Jacob was talking to one of his male friends, and this person had also said that they had named their baby when they didn't know the gender. And so Jacob kind of told me about that, and he was like, yeah, I guess maybe that would be something good for us. So that is the reason why we decided to name our baby, just hearing how it can be such a healing thing, and also just being able to personify and remember our baby in that way. And the biggest hesitation was just that it was weird, and which is dumb, but it seemed weird to us to name a baby when we didn't know the gender. But hearing from other people who have experienced this and done the same, that was a really great encouragement to be able to move forward in that. So then we started thinking about what we wanted to name the baby. And when I was pregnant, I myself thought that it was going to be a girl, and so did a bunch of people around us. And so I just felt like I wanted to name the baby with a girl's name. And just trying to think through what is something that we could name this baby to reflect and honor the baby, and also just kind of remember this time and that we've gone through and everything that we've experienced and learned. And that is when I thought of the name Grace. And so Grace is God blessing us despite the fact that we don't deserve it. And I really felt that that was what this season was for us. And God has always shown us grace throughout our lives, but more evidently, I feel like that has been shown in this season. It's been really, really hard, but we've also just been shown a lot of grace and a lot of love from like the people who have been around us, the people who have sent us cards and brought us meals and flowers and reached out and sent us messages, and we've felt so loved in so many ways. And the fact that we even got to spend 3 weeks with this little baby was just by the grace of God. Like, I wish we could have gotten to meet her, but we didn't. But by the grace of God, we got to be pregnant for 3 weeks, and it was the most joyful time. And I'm so grateful for the time that I got to experience being pregnant, and just the joy that it brought our lives as we began, planning out our future and thinking of what was to come and dreaming about what our lives would be like. And so with that, I just felt like that was a really appropriate name for her and this season that we have gone through. And so I remember just like, I think it was maybe the next day after Jacob had talked about talking to his friend who had gone through this, I thought of the name Grace. And so I was talking to Jacob at night, and I was like, I was thinking like of naming our baby Grace, like, what do you think? And he was like, I think that that's like a really great name. I really like it. And then I just like broke down. Like, it was just so emotional and so just like amazing to hear us like name our baby, and something that people for 9 months usually are thinking about, like, what are we gonna name our baby? And like, that's such an exciting thing that you get to dream about, like the name that your child gets to be. And I feel like for us it was that in that moment. It was in that moment, it was there was joy, there was sadness, and I was just overwhelmed with emotion. I just cried. And I know that this sounds weird, and if you haven't experienced miscarriage, this probably really sounds weird, but I just felt so much peace and healing with just being able to share that her name is Grace. And so I'm excited to be able to share this with you guys, and also just excited for how we now get to remember our baby. And now I can say, now we get to remember Grace, and for us to be able to like talk about her in months and years to come. I'm very thankful that we did decide to name our baby. So that is just a little story that I wanted to share with you guys of why we decided to name the baby that we miscarried Sweet Grace. And we will get to meet her someday, and I wish it could have been in March 1st, but unfortunately it's not. But we are grateful to be able to share Grace's story and remember her that way. So that is all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. And let me know if you are interested in seeing more like miscarriage or like pregnancy related videos. I know that I started this channel talking more about money, so I know that this is a little bit different, but I would love to share because this is something now like near and dear to my heart. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.